department, and I will try to get your questions later tonight. Today was surprisingly busy given that we only had one case. So my role in the service is that I'm currently the ICU and consult resident, meaning that I see the ICU patients who are on a service, and then I also see all of the new consults that are coming in. In between, I go to the OR, which has been really awesome this week. I have some really great cases, including the one today. So very, very happy about that. And overall, just a really, really good ending to my Friday. So I will try to answer some of your questions later tonight. I'm going to go home and shower and eat, and then we will see how many I get to tonight because I have to come back tomorrow. Thanks for following along, guys. Hey guys, it's Yang again. So I'm just answering a couple questions that people had, some of the more common ones, including this one, which was, how did you decide vascular/get exposure without being a core rotation? So vascular kind of what, so you're right, vascular surgery, excuse me, is not a core rotation. I got really lucky and was asked to cover a case during my general surgery rotation, and it was a carotid endarterectomy, which is actually one of my favorite cases now so far. So I just remember very, very clearly seeing the carotid open, and I was like, wow, the stuff they do can be so delicate, it's so intricate, like the anatomy's amazing, and I was just blown away by it. So I ended up just kind of preferring to go into the vascular cases during my general surgery rotation, and I got really lucky because my chief resident, who I was assigned to, was actually going into vascular surgery fellowship. So she really took me under, let me do a lot of the angios, let me come in and do a lot of the EVARs, and I really, really, really was encouraged by her to scrub a lot of the cases, and because of that, I feel like I had a great exposure to the field. So this is a great question. It's asking about why I chose to do integrated vascular, which is a 5-year program, versus general surgery plus fellowship, which is the more traditional route and is 5 years and then 2 years of fellowship afterwards. So there are actually 3 ways to become board certified in vascular surgery. The first one is the traditional route, which I said 5+2 is what we call it. And that's 5 years of general surgery. Some people take an additional 2 years of research if you're at a major academic institution, and then 2 years of fellowship afterwards. So you end up becoming like a PGY9. The other route is what we call like a 4+2. It's pretty uncommon. I think there's less than 5 programs in the country, but basically you do 4 years of general surgery, and then within that same hospital you do your last 2 years in vascular surgery. I'm not super familiar with those, so I would check out the Society for Vascular Surgery website about those. And the last one is what we call the 0+5, which is the integrated program, which is what I'm in. So at the end of my 5 years, some programs are 7 years because they have research, but mine's 5. So at the end of my 5 years, I will be board eligible for vascular. So that's an important distinction to make. The 5+2 allows you to be board eligible for both general surgery and vascular surgery, meaning that when you're an attending, you can practice in both. For the 0+5 program, such as mine, when I graduate, I'm only qualified to take my vascular surgery boards. I'm not eligible for general surgery. I think this really only matters if you are planning on global work. That's really the only limitation that I see in the 0+5 programs. Otherwise, I think a lot of people who do the 5+2 are more so like they found vascular kind of during their general surgery residency. The reason why I did 0+5 is because I knew that I wanted to be a vascular surgeon. I was never, I want to be a surgeon and then I'm going to do vascular. For me, it was kind of always just, surgery is kind of cool, but I don't know if I see myself doing it. And then I found vascular surgery and I was like, wow, this is awesome. It really makes sense to me. I really like the surgeries that they do. So I would definitely have to say this book. I carry this around all the time in my scrub pockets even, because I don't know if you can see it, but it's kind of small. Handbook of Patient Care in Vascular Diseases. Really, really thorough, but also a really good overview for anyone who's new to this. And I just remembered there's actually one more resource that's even, I think, even less than this, but a really good overview, very, very broad, is the Gore Combat Manual. So it's a free PDF. I think it's about 90 pages, published by Gore, who makes a lot of the endografts that we work with. And it has a really, really nice overview of many of the surgeries that we do, kind of why we do them, complications, etc. And you can just find it by Googling Gore Combat Manual. I can also include a swipe up for the link, but but I recommend it to all of the third-year medical students who come on service with us and want to get some basic information before they do cases with us. So I think vascular especially is really, really cool because not only do you have to open surgeries like the bypasses, the carotids, the aortas, we also do a lot of endovascular work, which is one of the biggest appeals of the specialty to me. So we do a lot of angiograms, EVARs, TVARs, and I think if you haven't done vascular before, sorry, it keeps cutting off, but if you haven't done vascular surgery before, I think a lot of the angiograms and the catheter and wire work probably won't make sense in the beginning. So don't be afraid to ask. Always speak up and try to have somebody explain something to you if you don't understand, obviously at a good time. But yeah, so I think vascular surgery is a really niche specialty. It's really awesome. Unfortunately, it's difficult to get medical students involved in it unless you're asking for that rotation. So if you think you might be interested in it, if you like open surgery, but you're a really visual person like me and you like seeing images, definitely consider vascular surgery. Not biased at all. But that's it for me tonight. I should go to bed. I have to go in tomorrow again. So we're planning more. I'm part of the Instagram committee for the Association of Women Surgeons. We're planning on more takeovers like this, so please give us feedback if you thought this was enjoyable, informative, entertaining, and also if you'd like to kind of do your own takeover.